They desperately need this game.
Got Jets on the
because
horizon.
the season is on the verge of being a lost one. They lose this weekend, and they drop to 1-6. Lost season. And that's when all the bleep really starts rolling downhill, man. That's when you start having more of these off-the-field things that have now popped up. That's when you start having the guys in the locker room who have been chirping, whether it's a receiver or it's Keon White or it's a linebacker or whatever. That all gets worse when you go to 1-6 and you've lost on a long road trip overseas. And he knows it.
It stews with you on that long flight back. We need another big work week coming up, and you got the Jets you got to get ready for again, and they're loaded with Devontae Adams. Now it's more problematic for you. Plus you're playing back at home, in front of your hometown again. What are you going to lose, 11 out of the last 12 at home?
Win game for Gerard Mayo's year.
It really is. It's starting to shape up that way.
Can you put the genie back in the bottle with this type of stuff, though,
No.
when you weren't disciplining players earlier in the season in terms of benching them? I know Ramondre did eventually, but he fumbled previously to that happening.
If you're hearing this as a player this week, are you like, yeah, all right, Gerard, whatever.
Yeah. I'll sit the two snaps.
Now you're going to get pissed off?
Well, it's
now you're
it's like
mad
my
at us?
reaction. Okay, you're going to take me out? Who are you putting in for me?
Go ahead.
There's nobody to put in.
Yeah.
Are you going to sit Keon White?
And I'm going to tell you, when I say it all starts rolling downhill, this is when you get the issues between the front office and the head coach. Because the front office has left this guy high and dry. Elliott Wolf's team that he built, Mr. Packer way, his team blows. His roster stinks. And the head coach knows it.
He knows it.
And he's got nothing to lean on. They've had some injuries.
I don't
get
think
it.
this is not Gerard's fault. He's learning on the fly. Is there things that he's way behind the 8 ball on that other coaches that get the first opportunity that have been coaches elsewhere have sort of paid their dues, so to speak? Yeah. But I watch him on the sidelines. He looks like he's involved with everything. He's not carrying play sheets. He's not staring at them. He's talking to everybody. This is why they have double assistants. They have double assistants that they're normally working with. Normally they have 10. Now they're up to 20. A lot of cooks in the kitchen here. They better start putting the right ingredients in. Make it a good meal. Or the chef's going to get blamed. The head chef. He's a smart guy. He knows football. But you also know that, crap, we're undermanned. I have visions of this. Did you hear what he said about Devontae Adams? Someone was asked, hey, are you going to make the call? He goes, well, that's really the front office's job today. He goes, but you understand, that team's in a much different place than we are. He knows it.
Yeah.
We're rebuilding here. It's that's why Judon's not here. So why would we get rid of Judon and bring this guy in? He said it point blank yesterday. That team's in a different place than we are. And other teams are in different places than we are. He doesn't expect to get that type of player. Because he knows it. He understands it.
Big sense of urgency, though. Big sense of urgency out of there this week.
Yeah, but who are you benching? I don't know. What, are you going to sit Divide down?
Well, he's saying they're in a different place, but there are others who are saying they may actually be buyers at the deadline. The Patriots? Buyers at the deadline?
You need help. You do need help. You're down bodies.
Especially now that you're benching guys.
What do you think attrition is? What do you think injuries do? Decimates your team. I can see them being buyers.
So we can get into that a little bit. We'll get back to your calls as well here on Zolak and Bertrand next.
But yeah, you can be buyers at the deadline to help bolster your roster. You're running out of people. You need bodies.
Yeah, I could see it, but I don't see them actually spending any real capital and getting real players.
Right.
What's the point of that? You're going to pay good prices now, or you're going to pay better prices in the offseason?
It's like you're not getting a pipe fix. You're calling Flex Seal to just spray it on and just temporarily, put a Band-Aid on it.
How many options are you going to have, though, right, in terms of good receivers becoming available?
Very few.
So if there's one that you can snag now, and
that
to their
is
point
going
too,
into free agency as a rental?
I mean, trade for them. Should they have kicked the tires on guys that have gone, or is there another wide receiver that shakes loose here that might have term on their deal that you can snag? I would be open to that. Absolutely. Absolutely should be.
He's not a receiver, but I'd like to see them do a Kyle Van Noy type of trade where they got a guy and then he ends up being a foundational piece.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that where you could help McMillan out on the outside. You need you need some thumpers.
Not even that position, but just that profile of a guy.
No, but you have to look
another
at
team's disappointing former high pick who is a few years into his deal and a team is willing to move off for a third.
Is there a team out there?
All right, fine. I could get on board with that, but I I don't think it's going to be in a real position of need. I don't think you're finding a tackle. I don't think you're finding that receiver. I don't think you're finding those guys.
Yeah.
That's what I would add to it.
That's hard. And
Be reasonable.
Nobody's giving you up anything great.
What do they have to sell?
Nothing. Picks. They've got nothing but picks. Nobody wants their pieces.
But to their point, so if you know that they're going to suck.
Yeah.
They're going to have like a top 5 pick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you're going to trade back, you're going to have more assets, so you should be more willing to move your second, or you have 2 third-rounders because of the Judon pick now.
Got to be a guy with term, though. Not doing
Yeah.
it for any rentals. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get that.
Is there anybody that like wants a KJ Osborne or like a Jonathan Jones type player?
Sure. Have them. What do you want? KJ Osborne? Have them. Tyquan Thornton? 6th-round pick. What do you need? Conditional 6th. I don't know that there's anything worth anything on the market. No.
Devontae Adams, Cooper, Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah, I think
The big 3.
All available.
Yep.
All are available.
Maybe
it turns out.
Miami will get him to put with their stable.
Right. Andrew Callahan, by the way, he's got Jalen Polk as a guy you can bank on having fewer snaps.
Oh.
He also said defensively, the clear candidate is Raekwon McMillan. He said look for more Ellis to replace McMillan. Hopefully we get fewer pass interference penalties out of him. And he said a sleeper candidate to see fewer snaps, defensive lineman Dietrich Wise.
Oh.
Captains have worked out well so far this year.
Yeah, it's like the jinx. It's almost like the video game cover.
Crazy.
Keep your fingers crossed.
A lot has been made about Kayshon Boutte saying the past couple of weeks we've been starting slow, so I feel like we're not aggressive enough as we're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. People have started to interpret that as him calling out Alex Van Pelt. I don't know if that is. I mean, I think that's more of him calling out the entire team.
Yeah, I think it's the general question of we need to be ready from the get-go as soon as that whistle blows.
That's also a guy I feel like is starting to kind of hit his stride a little bit here as a player. He's come on over the last couple of weeks, no? Like, don't you feel like that's one of your young players that's sort of starting to ascend a little bit?
Maybe. Let's go to Kyle in Warwick. Kyle, are you there?
Gentlemen, how are you?
What's happening?
All right, so real quick, I got 2 things just because I've been hanging on for a little bit, and you guys mentioned something else. Zoe, I think that Polk may get a downtick in the snaps, and you may see a little bit of Baker. He's been somewhat of a healthy scratch, but he's a May guy, and I think Drake likes him, and, you know, you really can you can get a beeline to the end zone with him. Another thing is I would be a seller of our 3rd-round pick that we got for Judon, and maybe add KJ Osborne if you had to, Kendrick Bourne, and I'd go after T. Higgins. If the Bengals continue to lose, they may be a seller. I'd love to hear what you think. I think that guy would be a crucial piece to build around.
I don't know why that would work here, or why he would want to be here, or why any of that works long term. I'm not sure that that's in the cards. Unless you've got a chance to, talk to the agent and say, we've got a huge contract extension we want to hand him right now. And we'll get it done as soon as he's here. We'll sign on the dotted line. I don't know. That's maybe the only way that happens.
Yeah. Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.